Hello, welcome back to the podcast Garage and Basement with your host, Scott, and my two co-hosts,
Kyle.
Lucas.
I knew this would happen. Alright.
Lucas. Alright, so
and Kyle.
We kind of had a last minute change, but the main topic for today's episode is going to be health. Not just physical health, like working out or eating good.
I think our main topic is going to be mental health, though.
That's the one I think we all can focus the biggest on. Because I know you guys have been affected pretty good, and I think I've been affected somewhat decent.
I've been cracking my knuckles all day, just so you know.
Okay.
Like I'm not nervous or anything.
Alright, so here's the thing though, is we might not post next week, because this is supposed to be the season finale, because this is our last week of school.
We should have made something a little more energetic for the season finale, but whatever.
I mean,
season finale! Season one's ending!
Yeah,
we should have celebrated it.
Yeah, that's what the cake was for.
That's
that Lucas's mom made.
Really?
No. Are you stupid?
Yes! Yes, I am, Kyle.
And that hurts your feelings, huh?
Yeah, so...
It also makes me feel bad. Because it impacts both our mental health.
Tell us how we're all just struggling to keep in all the cuss words inside of us right now.
Yeah, okay, so
for the record,
here's the thing.
I will be fine just beeping it out, because this is one of those episodes where it's like, we're going to get personal.
It's
very
the last episode
deep.
where the rules don't apply yet.
Yeah, because we just spent, I think, it was Monday, Memorial Day?
Yeah.
Memorial Day, we all
the day before Memorial Day.
We spent literally an hour, 8 to 9 p.m.
Yeah, we popped open a notebook. I wrote down some rules.
You popped open a notebook.
I popped open a notebook. We all got in a video call. We all discussed basic things like rules that we should start following, and we're gonna have people sign them for guests. And we're implying a system where it's 3 infractions equals 1 mark. If you get 3 marks, it enacts a meeting between me, Lucas, and Kyle, so the main hosts. It enacts a meeting with the 3 of us.
It's not just us against special guests. It can also be actual host that can get in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the host can get in trouble, and yes, one of us 3 could be kicked out.
Yeah.
That is not a question. So.
And
I voted
Nick,
kick out Scott.
if you're listening to this, we've had other guests where they've screwed up really bad, so I'm sorry. But
it was just kind of a bad situation.
After this episode, you're permanently banned, though. Technically you weren't, but
I'm sorry, but I think that's the decision we've all come to.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know. I think, did you guys give him at least something after the first day? Tell him, hey, you need to calm it down, bring it down. At least give him a warning.
I mean, the title of the episode was Tone It Down. No, the first one was kind of chaotic.
No, that was my episode. It was your episode where he came on.
Yeah. And then we did a apology video or whatever, covering hey, sorry, things got out of hand.
I did mention something about maybe we should calm it down, because that was a little intense even for me.
Which is really saying something. I got a call from Lucas that later that day. He was like, dude, I understand what you were talking about. He was actually concerned.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, I was it was a kind of a new level.
It was a realization, he said.
It kind of made me realize, because the more I thought about it, I was like, okay, Scott had a point there. This has gotten so far, and we haven't stopped it, where it's growing more, where it's to the point where it's gotten that intense.
And if it got to the point where, I'm not kidding when I said, if it got to the point where that was becoming a normal thing while I was gone,
it was gonna get bad, and you were gonna have to leave.
It was gonna get so bad. I was never coming back, just because there was no way I was gonna be able to survive in that. Cause
you'd be able to survive.
I'd be able to survive, but I would never want to do it.
You wouldn't want to be publicly known for being part of that.
Yeah, you didn't want to be associated.
I didn't want to be associated with it.
Oh,
I hated the idea of even. I hate the idea of even being around it. Listening to it, I was I was moving in bed at the time, but I had my speaker playing, and the background was oh my gosh, why'd you guys say that? Holy crap, I don't even want to go back. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be a rough conversation, because I was planning on talking to you guys afterwards.
Yeah.
Because that was my first episode of being gone. It was a rough episode for me to listen to.
It was 2 episodes, because he was in 2.
Yeah.
And I think the episode where I finally kind of cracked was the one I called you after, the second one.
Yeah. All right. Just real quick.
But to be fair, Nick kind of did put himself in that grave after he was talking crap.
Yeah.
You don't talk crap about one of the hosts in their own podcast.
Don't bite the hand that feeds you.
I understand. Because I was listening to it. The only thing I really heard was him calling me skinny. I don't mind that. That was actually kind of funny.
There's quite a bit of editing out. I don't know if I edited out anything where he was talking crap about you, but
Yeah. Lucas said that
There's
he was
stuff
talking
behind the
crap.
scenes.
And, like...
Yo, I wanted Scott to know because I was just like...
yeah.
But, yeah, I listened...
I kind of hate how he has to tell everybody at the school that he got kicked out.
Did he?
Yeah, he's been like
he tells
repeatedly.
everyone now.
Yeah, he's like, bro, I got kicked off the podcast,
And like almost everybody at the school.
just in case if he's listening,
he blames
like
you the whole time. He doesn't mention anything about what he did. He just blames you the whole time. Like
He blames me.
literally, even Nabble knows. He asked. He's like, I won't do what Nick did when he was asking me to join.
well, I mean,
Okay, so
like
he blamed me?
He blames.
I wasn't even there. How is he blaming me? All I said is we should probably take a break with Nick until we can get things associated and tell people about it. Or about what's good and what's bad. He's blaming me for saying that we should only take a break. I didn't say that we should full on kick him off. I said we should only take a quick break until we can get things up.
To be fair, I think that was my doing, like, misleading, but I corrected myself and eventually told him, like, well, it's also a group decision. But I kept saying,
he
like,
didn't listen to that though. He just kind of listened to what he wanted to hear.
I kept telling him, like,
He wanted to blame the one person who he never really talked to.
He just wanted to blame the person that
all right,
he was responsibly talking.
All right, well,
can we get on the actual?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
We got in a whole monologue about God. Something about this garage.
I know.
It just
This
makes us
is-
talk.
This right here, because like,
This is when we first talked.
I'm sure you guys have noticed.
Yeah, I was sitting in that chair right there, and Kyle was over in that corner.
Yeah, I was in the corner in the rocking
Wait, no.
chair. I
Yeah.
was everyone's old grandpa, just being the therapist, you know.
Yeah,
We were all being our therapists.
That was a really nice day.
And that's gonna be what this episode.
Podcast.
Yeah.
That was like we were.
That was a
talking-
2.5 hour conversation. The first time that all three of us had been over at the same time.
and we got in deep, so it wasn't.
We got into each other deep, bro. Yeah, you know. All right.
Giggity.
Just real quick though.
You guys don't sleep in the same bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the one who's like.
But hey!
I'm kidding.
Yeah. We were watching a Ben Stiller movie too. Shout out to him.
What did you guys watch?
Good actor.
We watched the
Zoolander.
Zoolander. Yeah.
We ended up putting that on my PlayStation, I think. No, it was my
Xbox
Xbox.
360.
We put it on my Xbox and we watched that, and I passed out in like the first 5 minutes.
Why'd you pass out, Scott?
To my I guess.
All right.
You
Anyways.
have to bleep that out.
You have to bleep out the thing I said.
All right.
That's a
Anyways.
joke that people used to like women and stuff.
I'm just gonna cut out that whole part.
Yeah, that's fine. All right.
Anyways.
Back into the actual.
All right,
topic.
let's get to the actual
All right.
topic.
Just
'cause
real
I
quick
think we
though,
got
guys.
distracted.
Since we're talking about mental health, I don't know if any of us are actually gonna say it, but instead of saying like or yourself, just say unaliving yourself. Those are two blanks, not beeps. But yeah,
Quitting,
just
rage quitting.
rage quitting the game of life. So
That board game. Have you ever played that board game?
It's pretty fun.
yeah, it's a fun game.
It's a stressful game.
It is.
Well, I mean, I've only played it a couple times.
I
And I
only
was like
played it once.
really
I
young.
was screaming. I think. But all right. Anyways,
or am I like the only one that's not working in any of our classes though? Just real quick, like
you're not working. Like doing your work.
I'm not doing anything.
Like recently, or
Like Miss wants us to be doing all this work.
Mrs. K? You said Mrs. K.
It doesn't matter. You can say Miss. That's not the real name.
All right, bud. All right.
But
Still blanking it out. Just in case.
It's just for safety reasons.
okay.
Yeah.
But like in English especially, she's been wanting us to do these worksheets. I just been playing games on my computer. I'm gonna be completely honest.
My English teacher.
I'm done. Like
Here.
I'm not doing anything else.
Try and raise your voice just a bit.
I'm not doing anything else because it's just like okay, I get it, but I'm done.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, let's get into the topic.
Here, let's discuss physical health first.
All right. Physical health.
Yeah.
All right.
What? Explain the reason why you were gone for a little bit.
Oh, I was gone for a little bit. Again, I've said this at least 3 times. I know that. I was in track. That thing was a painkiller on my legs. I'm still struggling after it. Like, I go to run and I'll feel that like sharp pain in my whatever this bone's called.
That's just called your shin. I don't know what bone it is, but
My shin. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
like I
not
go
the
to
bone.
run and I feel a sharp pain in my shin again, which I never really felt before track. Maybe it was just the shoes I was running in, because I had someone tell me you shouldn't really be running in those shoes. Those shoes are like really bad for your feet.
yeah.
Hang on, let me flip my phone so it's not a distraction. So I'm gonna have to get some new shoes for running, because those shoes, they had a lot of padding, but apparently they're really bad on your feet. So that was somewhat fun, I guess.
Yeah.
But physically, my build, I am really skinny. Like, so skinny that, like, if I were to lift up my shirt, you can see my ribs.
Yeah, he's tall and skinny. He looks like he needs to eat, but he
I eat plenty.
Yeah. He's tried bulking. Apparently it's something in your genes, right?
I'm not sure exactly, but my dad did say he tried everything.
I'm sure your genes have something to do with it, though.
My dad said he tried everything he could. He could never really get bigger. He could lift as much as he wanted, but he could never get bigger.
Yeah.
So
What do you plan on doing next year?
next year?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Oh,
Like sports or anything?
oh, you want me?
Are you doing track again?
I don't know about track yet. I haven't decided on that one because I didn't really like it, but also it was somewhat fun being able to do some of the stuff.
Yeah.
But I am going to be doing football again. So this year was my first year since 4th grade, I think, that I actually stopped and took a break from football.
Yeah.
I always loved football. First of all, I made a lot of good friends. Football is actually how I gained somewhat popularity in my old school. Football, it was just super good on my mental health. I remember that. I remember every time I come home from football, yes, I'd be really like tired and worn down, but I'd never be sad because it was a good distraction. It kept me active. I was socially talking with people, and I guess would socially active work?
I think
More social would probably.
More social, yeah. But yeah, football definitely did a good thing for me. And I'm really hoping it does something good for you too, Kyle. Because
Yeah.
I heard you were talking about joining it.
Next year is going to be the first organized sport, like actually organized besides like softball, but that was when I was like 1st grade. When I started training or whatever back in November, I was only doing like 20 push-ups, 20 sit-ups a day or whatever.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even thinking about doing any sports next year. I was just thinking about like, dude, I've got to drop these pounds. Cause like, I'm not gonna get too detailed, but at the time, I was just going through like a mental-ish struggle. And I had like new people in my life that actually were helping me a bunch. Like you guys know who it is. But I'd say it was worth it, starting out very, very light. And then I think a month or so ago, well, probably 2 months ago, I was doing like 200 push-ups, 200 sit-ups, like overworking myself. And I wasn't eating enough because I didn't want to lose all that progress. So I just kind of toned it down a bit. So now I'm not doing as much, but I'm still putting in lots of work. But yeah, so I'm either dead or it's just gonna be adding on to my workouts.
Another
So.
thing about my build is I've been so worried about my build. I'm not sure if, well, you guys probably noticed it, but I wear sweatshirts every day, almost no matter the temperature, just because it makes me feel a little bit bigger.
Ever since 6th grade, I've been just wearing like big shirts. Cause in 6th grade, I would wear 2 shirts, sometimes even 3, cause I was like, that was when I became self-conscious about how big I was. Cause I was huge, dude. And then 7th grade, I grew a bit, but I wasn't losing any weight, so I still had like
Your body stretched out and used that mass.
And then this year, dog, like I've changed so much. Like I've shown you guys my
we
school
see.
IDs, right?
Yeah.
Like even from the
huge
time
change.
of retake or from original to retake for this year, which also this year I've changed a bunch because I started working out, and then another way was I did retakes for the first time. Not that the other pictures were bad, but this one was terrible. Someone told me I looked like I interact with children who are not of the age, if that makes sense.
That is a common thing that people like to say in our school, it seems.
Yeah, it's because when you go to a public school, you're not gonna. Well, there's stuff like that in all schools,
you're
but
not gonna expect like proper etiquette in a public school.
Yeah, but so we've talked about our physical health. Are you okay with talking about yours?
Oh yeah. So like back to like I'm gonna go a little earlier before this podcast started. Like I've always been like generally like slim, like when Scott was like that, you look completely different. That's because when I moved here 7th grade, I kind of fell into a depression, so I kind of ate my feelings out, and so like obviously I'm more on the heavier side, but like I don't really care. And like I would used to wear hoodies just to try to hide that. Obviously I'm not doing that anymore. I feel like if you really care, then I don't really care about you.
I just do it to make myself feel bigger.
But like I would do it to make myself look smaller. And I just realized if you care about that, then I don't really care about you.
Yeah.
And so I'm actually right now I'm planning on going to a volume eating diet.
You've talked about a lot of diets you've been wanting to go on, like that all-meat
This
diet.
one though I think would be the most beneficial to me, with the fact that it actually relates a lot to me. I'm just gonna give these guys a physical example. You guys can just listen. So basically, like just say this, right? For example, this.
You
Say this
just
is like
grab-
a piece of steak, right? And this is my stomach. I put this in. This is around. Let's go crazy and just say 100 pounds, right? Well, all these like little figurines, all go in there, right? But the same amount of calories. So basically, I'm eating more amount of food, but with less calorie intake.
That's the diet. You're getting more food with the same calorie.
No, same amount of food, different amount.
No. It's, more.
Instead of eating like one steak, where let's say it has
or I can have
one,
a whole package of like lettuce. Let's just say like lettuce, like
More food, same calorie.
where where I can feel stuffed, but yeah, I wouldn't be overeating with extra calorie. You're full from both, but it's
So
a completely different calorie intake.
Yeah.
And
So you're trying to fill your stomach up at the same.
because my main problem is, like, I can eat healthily. It's just that I'm usually never full.
Yeah.
If I work on my volume eating, then I think that main problem can be taken down a notch.
I think I've been working on that in a way where I've just been eating
Less.
I think I've been doing the opposite, where I've been eating less but somehow getting like more calories. I don't know. I've been keeping track of them though.
Like I'm gonna
Watching your calories is not a good thing. Just
Yeah.
I mean, while you're growing, like
Unless if you're making sure that you're getting the
if you're,
regular
I'm gonna make sure I'm getting calories, but I want to make sure that I'm not taking in too much. Taking in too much, I mean, I think if you take too much of everything, then it can be bad.
Yeah.
I think everything's good in consideration. It's just depending on how you overtake it. I also want to take out empty calories out of my diet because that's something I really want to avoid.
I just remembered. I forgot to remind my mom I'm here. She knows I come here Wednesdays, but I just remind her.
You keep on forgetting to do that, but
No, she knows I come here Wednesdays. I just remind her.
But like I do plan to still go into the gym, but I want to focus more on my dieting right now.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna take a break from like working out and
Oh,
going more.
that reminds me. So this Friday, you know how it's a half day for school?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be hitting the gym with my boy H.
Are you going to the community center?
Wait, I can say his name, Henry, because he was on
Oh
before.
yeah, he was on here.
Are you going to the community center?
Yeah.
I can go with you. I have a membership.
I know. I was thinking because the plan was for me and him to be able to spend the night, but he figured out like at some point between when I asked him and this morning in second hour that he won't be able to. So we're planning on hitting the gym for a little bit, and then if you're going, Scott, then and keep in mind I still have to ask my parents and stuff, but maybe we could do like a sleepover this weekend.
Yeah.
And then we'd
This
be able.
weekend?
We'd.
Yeah, this
Do you know
weekend.
if you'd be able to, Lucas?
I
It'd literally be
honestly,
Friday night through
I
Saturday.
really need to check my schedule. I don't think I'll be able to do it though, because I think I'm going to my dad's.
It's
Alright.
rare that I'm able to be free, and
Like I said, it's gonna be rare. I'm gonna be able to be free. I want to find a week where we can just hang out with each other the whole week. I mean,
Yeah.
risky for a friendship, but
yeah, you said that before.
then we can record like an episode each day. So then we just have like 5 episodes that we can like post.
Our
or
schedule's gonna change. Remember, we're
We're gonna start recording Sundays. So if we
Do
can
we
get,
want to start this week? So like we record today's
Yeah.
Wednesday, and
And
then the
I was-
episode comes out Friday. Are we gonna record that Sunday, or are we gonna wait?
we're gonna. So that's exactly what I was just gonna bring up. If we, like, even if Lucas isn't able to spend the night, like, hopefully he's able to, then we can like record an episode, and then since we already said we're not releasing next Friday, then we can, like, I'll have literally 2 weeks to edit it, and then I'll upload it that Friday, and we can like be an episode ahead of schedule, if that would make sense. If
like we
record,
did for the first time.
yeah, if we skip next week, but we have an episode in the chamber, then we can still record that Sunday, and then I already have an episode uploaded or edited, and I upload that, and then spend, from that Sunday to the next Sunday or whatever editing, because then that allows us to have either longer episodes or better quality.
Just to let you guys know, I'm not sure if you guys are comfortable with going video, so I doubt we're gonna go video. But our audio quality is gonna start changing.
Yeah.
After this week, because we're going online. We're gonna start going onto a call, and we're gonna record the call, and we're gonna
I'll
post
try
it.
to find a microphone that I can adapt to my phone.
I think I might just end up streaming off my Steam Deck.
You can do that too.
I have 2 laptops, not to brag, but the only reason why I have 2 is because I had to get a new one, a Windows 11 instead of a Windows 10, because somebody went ahead and broke my Windows 10. Not saying who, but it was someone in my family.
Oh, I think I know.
Yeah, Lucas knows. I'm sure Scott can figure it out. Don't whisper it or anything, because this is a good mic. But pretty much my Windows 10 is set up as a regular computer, so
Well,
it's
like, how
connected
did
to
it
monitors
break?
and stuff. Pretty much, it was because I had hopped on my computer later than they had. It was their time to get off, and so they were mad that they had to get off, and tried closing my computer even though I didn't want them to. And so I stuck my thumb out like to try and keep it open, and they pushed like double the amount and managed to, like, they didn't snap it like that, but they like bent it, and then you know how computers can get that glitch look without any glass breaking? That's what happened. Like a whole half of the screen.
So did they get in trouble?
Oh yeah, they were supposed to get me the new computer, but I ended up getting it with money that I had saved up from like 3 Christmases. And keep in mind that happened when I was probably like 2018. So when the release of the PS5 came out, it was like later that year.
It was
I
like
think,
2020.
like that summer.
Like it was like 2020,
Yeah.
2021.
It was like 2021, I think, is when I got the new one. So I had to wait 3 years. I'm not trying to do math right now, but I think like 4, it'd be 3 or 4 years, because I don't know if it was 2021, 2022, around that area though. But now that we're probably not done talking about physical health, but we've trailed off enough. We're already at 20.
Well,
Sorry,
we kinda
I've
fed
dragged
on.
things on.
Well, come
What
on, Scott. We
changed?
kind of fed onto it by asking him the questions about
I was
Yeah.
picking on his dragging on and changing things. So.
No,
Yeah.
just call him drag queen.
I know this is the last episode Nah, never mind.
Yeah. Anyways, last episode in person for a little while.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna switch to online, so the audio quality between the three of us might change.
Yeah.
You know that
Alright.
that Oculus has been sitting there for I don't even know how long.
Yeah. We're at.
Where's my refund at, Elon?
Huh?
Where's my refund at, Mark? Like, I got bored after like 2 months.
I use mine for exercise quite a lot.
I just don't like to spend like all the games on there. There's no free games unless it's a demo.
I was gonna
So it's
get
just like-
the bought version of Pavlov. Have you gotten it yet? Okay, good.
I play Contractors.
Yeah, I've
You know
wanted
what
to
I play?
get Contractors.
Who's your
but-
daddy?
Dude, there's this game, I don't know if it's online, called Gun Club VR. It's pretty much just like, it's Pavlov, but like, well, I can't really say Pavlov, but it's the gun range. It's pretty much living on a gun range. So you have all this access to different guns. It's actually pretty fun, but
It's
like I don't play Pavlov as much anymore.
Can I just state out the obvious? How weird it feels about to be about
Can you sit up,
to
please?
be a high schooler. Like,
Yeah.
it's
How we're
weird.
about to be in high school.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna be so busy. Like I think I can't remember if the lady did or didn't get rid of it, but I was gonna have 7th hour and then do football. And obviously, the way they have the sports set up is so that, or for
I just
most
hope
of the
that
sports,
Me and Kyle get some classes together.
yeah, there's like a small list.
Like I said, there's still a chance I still go to the school, especially with the fact that I've been thinking about just staying instead.
Well, I mean that feels like kind of short notice with the fact that you're going to start moving summer.
No, I'm gonna see how I like moving there, cause everything's still there. Both houses are the same. Are gonna stay the same. I'm just gonna spend more time there, see how I like it. If I don't, I'm gonna
Okay,
stay
so
here.
It's not exactly. I mean, I just don't think.
Yeah, Scott.
Like,
Yeah.
I hope we get some classes
Sorry.
together too. I don't know how this whole situation works.
But I'm just gonna say it, and then you tell me if you want me to cut it out. Your parents are split, right? Divorced.
Yeah,
Like, how has it affected you mentally?
mentally.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how deep I want to go into it, but I've told a lot of people the deep part. I'm not gonna go into it though. My stepmom was not the nicest person. My ex-stepmom, that is. My new one is really nice. I love her. But my ex-stepmom, I view it as she was mentally abusive. She did some pretty bad things to my dad. My dad and my mom couldn't even have a friendship anymore because of her.
Oh, gee.
She claimed that my mom. Please blank that part out.
Yeah. Oh.
But she
Holy
was a
crap.
crazy person. She still is.
Yeah, Scott. Me and Scott have talked about this in the
I want you to
mornings.
blank this next part out though.
All right.
She,
Did she
What?
pick you up too?
I wasn't with her. That was after the divorce between her and my dad.
Oh my God. Like, hold on.
She's-
How much of that do you want me to blank out? Like up to the part where Lucas just talked, or?
Yeah, I do it
Okay.
to Lucas' part. She was not a nice person. I don't remember too much about him, but my mom dated a guy, or was married to a guy for a while. He was a nice guy, I think, but apparently he drank a lot. He crashed a lot of cars, and I had this like deer head thing that like you press a remote and it would talk and stuff. I loved it. My grandparents gave it to me. He crashed the car it was in and burnt it. He was a nice. I remember him as a nice
gee.
guy, but I was super young at the time, so I had everything mixed up.
When we're young, we think that everybody's like trustable and nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't, like, this isn't really as related, but like in the sense of we think everyone's nice. This goes back to also the wedding that I went to a couple weeks ago. It was my godfather's second wedding. First wedding was, I thought she was pretty nice, but she, like, apparently at the wedding, every time people tried to dance, she would go up and be like, "Hey, Mr. DJ, like, change the song now." And like, people eventually started just being like, "Screw it, if you want to play polka, we'll dance polka," or however you say it. But I remember I had this memory from when I was in kindergarten, I think, where my grandparents were picking me, my sibling, and her up, like her as in my godfather's first wife or whatever. I can't even remember her name, but pretty much while we were in the truck or whatever, we were just kind of messing around. And I can't remember what led to what, but I ended up saying, you know, I'm gonna rip your face off, and there's gonna be like a fiery, pretty much I'm describing the place of hell underneath her face, and it's like red, fiery, bloody, and everything. I don't even know how I knew that description when I was in kindergarten. I don't know how I know a lot of things I know today, especially at such a young age.
Internet.
No, I wasn't online. I didn't have a phone until 6th grade for Christmas. So my parents.
Sometimes you learn things from like the shows that your parents watch, like when you're like around the house, you can listen in, and sometimes you just learn things from that.
Like I knew, my parents told me about the birds and the bees
Mine did.
quite a lot though. Like they didn't want me to grow up not knowing the precautions you have to take and everything when it comes to all sorts of things.
My parents didn't want me to just not know when everybody else knew. They didn't want me to kind of be left out in that situation.
My mom never told me. Neither did my dad.
Yeah, I think that's
I think my stepbrother told me.
yeah. But anyways,
My
like
ex one, that is, not my current one.
Yeah,
My
back-
niece for watching.
back to the story though, like my grandma kind of yelled at me for it though, for like saying, you know, I'm gonna rip your face off, and for the record, if just because I don't want this to get demonetized or whatever, it wasn't actually gonna happen. I was very little. I pretty much didn't know what I was saying, yet I knew exactly what I was saying. I don't know.
Were you just like angry or something?
No, it was all playful. So it's kind of like when you go up to like a dog or whatever, or like a little kid, and you're like kind of high pitched, you know, you're like, oh, who's a good girl, who's a good boy, you know, but then you say some of the most drastic stuff, and it's like, what the heck, you know? But my grandma yelled at me for it, or scolded me for it, because it's my grandma, she's gonna spoil me. And I know that doesn't go for all kids, but we might get into that later. Anyways, but apparently the thing that I found out probably like within a month to a year ago, that she, like my godfather's ex-wife or whatever, she apparently said something back to me that I had no memory of, where it was like kind of even worse, especially to say to a child who's in kindergarten. I don't know what it was, but all I know is that my grandma was like, she did reply with something really bad though, and I didn't bother to ask because I didn't want to know, because we don't say her name. She's a real meanie head, to keep it light. So
Yeah, no, we call my stepmom, I call her the devil.
oh,
And a lot of
jeez.
things I like to say is whenever I'd eat an apple, I'd go, an apple a day keeps Satan away. And then right afterwards, I'd say, I haven't seen my ex-stepmom in months.
All right. Yeah. Here, Lucas, you want to talk? Because your parents are split
I
too,
go
right?
a little bit in it, but I don't want to go like too in depth, like when I told you about it. Like I kind of go back to I go to my parents' divorce, like because Scott went there. My parents' divorce was just kind of like it's been waiting to happen. It was just kind of like a loveless marriage.
I think mine was mutual, but I'm not 100% certain.
Like it was falling apart. Like it was to the point where my dad was just sleeping in the living room. Like he had his own air mattress in there at that point. Like it was kind of just already like falling apart. I was just like the only one that just made it unofficial because I was like, because they were just thinking about me. But like they were getting like violent fights. My mom destroyed my picture of Michael Jackson.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, like I for some reason I was so into Michael Jackson that I had a huge like picture of him in the hallway.
I'm not laughing
I know,
like
I
at
know.
that.
But-
I was like that.
But when they were
I was
fighting,
little, too.
she grabbed the picture and tried to hit my dad's head with it.
My
Oh,
mom
wow.
threw a giant bowl of, or not giant bowl, but a bowl of spaghetti at my ex-stepdad.
Yeah.
But
My parents, out of the three of us, are
she
the only
tried
ones
to
together.
she
so
tried to
this
hit
is
his
crazy
head.
for me.
Obviously, she missed. She hit his steel-toed boots, so he didn't really feel anything. They just been like really violent like fights where my dad would just try to like he just tried to hold her like back, you know,
Mm-hmm.
while she was just being violent.
Yeah.
And obviously, when the divorce happened,
Do those windows open up?
yeah, but I don't
we don't want outside noise and we don't want other people hearing.
And
it's just-
when the divorce did happen,
Just take off your jacket.
it was just kind of like
Dude, it's a pain to do it.
it hit me like a
Oh,
bomb, you know.
Yeah.
Take off
Especially
your
with the fact that with all that going on, I was so young that I didn't actually realize what was going on. So when it just happened, it just felt like out of the blue.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I did try to run away. I was like running on the sidewalk. Obviously, if, like a 6-year-old running on the sidewalk isn't that fast as my brother when he caught me. My brother was actually one of the people that held me together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you know, I still got to see my dad on the weekends, so it wasn't like horrible. You know, but I was in more unfamiliar territory with the fact that my dad was living over with my grandparents, and I didn't really know my grandparents that well, so it was just kind of unfamiliar territory. So I was like, wasn't always comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it was like they were cordial with each other. They didn't like each other, but they were cordial. They just stayed away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you
Here,
know,
let's get into.
Let's move off of this topic.
well, I'm going to my stepdad. You got into your stepmom.
Well, hold on.
Barely.
Can I just like I said?
I won't talk
talked
about the
earlier.
whole incident at my grandparents' house, but
Here, hold on. I just want to real quick say again that like both my parents are still together. I might get a little bit deeper. It depends on how much time I have left. But a lot of the trauma doesn't come from like my parents arguing with each other, but more of, well, a lot of it arguing with each other, but the fact that it would get really bad. Like I'll explain more, but Lucas, just make it quick.
it was cordial for a while. I mean, it's not very cordial now. My dad doesn't talk to my mom. Like, the only way they communicate is through me now.
Yeah.
Because they both got mad at each other. But my stepdad was a interesting fellow. He kind of reminds me of your ex-stepdad that was drunk all the time. He kind of had... He wasn't like uncontrolled. He wasn't like bad, but when he had alcohol in his system, he could not be controlled.
I don't know.
So, like, they got in a lot of fights where I'd have to go to my dad's at the like during it, and like sometimes they wouldn't even notice until after they're done fighting and realize I was gone and all my stuff was too. Cause that's how deep the fights were.
Like your dad would come and pick you up.
Yeah, I'd call him. I'd go outside. I'd call him, and I'd just get my stuff ready. And they'd usually be so deep in the fight where I'd just get my stuff and I'd just be outside.
Hmm.
Holy crap.
All right. Well, I think we should move on before we get too.
But my stepdad, I don't even know why I say stepdad, but my mom's ex-boyfriend.
That's kind of how it was for the one that I told you about with the spaghetti.
Yeah, well, my mom moved, like their relationship was over, and he ended up losing his place.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom felt bad because she was like his one of the main financial supporters of him, and she's like, "All right, I have a spare room, but don't act stupid. This is nothing, you know."
Mm-hmm.
And one day, he
acted stupid.
he got drunk, couldn't control himself, and I think there was an argument going on before that too, because he was not paying bills or something, and I think he got angry and he actually.
Holy crap.
She's obviously, she's alive and she's alright, but he's actually in jail now, so. Wah, wah.
All right. Are you done with that then?
Yeah, I'm done with that.
All right. Do we wanna? How much time do you guys got left? I know you have.
I've
leave out
probably got, like,
the part.
Alright.
What?
I probably got like 10 minutes though.
Okay.
Alright.
So, you want to do a quick overhaul of like.
Let's just do a motivational minute because there's some stuff I want to tell you guys.
All right. Yeah, that's fine. All right. So you guys know that I'm talking to the podcast, not you guys right now.
Alright.
But at the end of every episode, we go into what we call a motivational minute, where we just kind of
Talk about things we want in the future or things we want to
just
achieve.
some motivation,
Goals.
just some motivation or goals or.
Goals and how we can achieve them, really.
Mhm.
Ways we want to achieve them.
I didn't think about it too much, but I just want to kind of end things off with not really a saying, but kind of like a advice, I guess you could say. Don't get caught up too much in drama. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, and
Don't overthink things too. Just don't.
I have to say, the amount of drama you have in your life is based off the people you want to surround yourself with. Like I used to be stressed out all the time with all the drama that was going on. Now I'm not stressed out anymore because when I hang out with you guys and I hang out with more people that are more reserved. So like the people that you hang out with are going to affect your mental health.
Mm-hmm.
I was a very stressed person because all the time I felt like there was a problem going on and I was like, oh God, now what? Oh, now they blame me. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Can I just say real quick, like in relation to what he was saying?
It's motivational minute. Say what you want.
All right.
No, shut up.
Don't-
You get to speak.
Don't blame yourself for things.
Oh, Kyle, come on.
I know it's one of the most cheesy things, but it's what led to what I planned on talking about when you said like mental health. Obviously, we aren't gonna get to talk about it this episode. Hopefully in the future, but I would blame myself for things that I was told was not my fault, and people will do that all the time, and I think that's part of what has led to me being, or at least the bad part of me being who it is. But don't blame yourself with things that aren't your fault, because then that is also how you end up wrapped up in drama that you don't want. Because, you know, as you guys and whoever's listening know, if you blame yourself for drama, it is your drama now.
What was I gonna say? Oh, I guess this episode kind of didn't really go as we were planning. We were kind of planning on doing a health thing. Right now, I think this is more of like.
I think we can.
We got way
I think
too
we want
laid
more
back.
to
This-
the trauma side of mental health.
This is more of what I see as.
mental health.
This is more of what I see as kind of a backstory because we kind of explain more of
Yeah,
who we are.
And what made us.
Yeah, like we talked about our actual physical health. So
Physical health and parents,
physical health and background parents. Yeah. So
the 2 P's.
yeah. So this is, I guess you
And
could
with
kind of
3
say
little peas in a pie. No one will get that, but
3 little P.
We're not doing that for our season 2.
All right. So
I will
Yeah.
fight you guys with that.
and for the record, when we say 3 little peas in a pod, we mean lil as in like, you know, it's ironic because we're all Caucasian, you know, and so it's ironic that we use slang. I had to do that
Think
little
what you
hand
gotta
signal,
think,
didn't
man.
I?
all right.
Oh, yeah.
But basically, what I was trying to say is, I guess this kind of wrapped up the season as like a. We started it off with an actual good episode, and now we're kind of ending it with. I think it was somewhat of a good episode, but
It was way more laid back. Keep in mind, it's really hot in the garage. I'm starting to regret being like, we need to record in the garage, but at the same time, it helped
I
us
think the
open up.
garage has benefits and downfalls. Like the
Yeah.
temperature has always been a huge problem in the garage, even in the winter, because then it would get too hot.
Yeah, that heater heats up the place real good.
I kinda
Now it's
wanted
now
to
there's
start.
no, but there's no cooler to freeze us to death now.
Yeah. But anyways, I'm kind of thinking this was a good way to wrap up the thing by kind of basically just going over who we are now.
Yeah.
It's a good wrap up.
Well, I don't think we want to. I think we just talked about what happened to us,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
but
To
I don't
maybe-
think we've talked about who we are now. But I
It's-
think that's like something
Maybe
we can
we
talk
can-
about next episode.
I was just gonna say.
like this could be like a part 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Well-
We're gonna leave y'all on a cliffhanger, you know.
Well,
So guys, I have a big secret to tell you. My real name is.
For the final time, we'd like to announce.
Where's the Mountain Dew?